Is one of those industries that makes more money off of you and other people when you do not understand money. When you spend money that you don't have, buying things that you don't need, that do not pay you for owning them, well, now you're going to be going to the bank to borrow all their money, and then you're going to spend the rest of your life paying off all the things that make you look rich, but they keep you broke because all of your money is going straight to your bank. Now, as soon as you get paid, your bank is the first person to get paid, not you. But that's nothing new. Banks have been skinning people alive financially for generations, but banks also do have a purpose. Like banks let you have a savings account and a checking account, and banks are the go-to place for you to borrow money to buy a home and maybe even a car if you believe in financing your car. But when it comes to building your wealth, there are certain secrets that your bank does not want you to know because these are things that will make you money, but they don't make your bank any money. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. But before we get into that, I need you to do me a quick favor and smash the thumbs up button below. You got to start by understanding how your bank makes money. And there are three general ways your bank makes money, at least at the consumer level. There are other ways your bank makes money, but let's focus on these three. Number one is your bank makes money when you give them money. Second, your bank makes money when you spend money that you do have. And number three, your bank makes money when you spend money that you do not have. Let's start with this. When you give the bank your money, when you give your bank $100 that you want to deposit in your checking account, what happens? As soon as they give the bank this $100 bill, they're going to turn around, put this in their system, boop, 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 that we got another $100, and immediately they're going to do whatever they can to lend this $100 out. You get a receipt saying that you deposited $100 and that you can withdraw this $100 whenever you want, but the bank, as soon as you deposit this $100, is going to turn around and they're going to lend this money out to somebody else. So maybe your cousin Bunty can go out and buy himself a new wardrobe, buy himself some food on his credit card using the bank's money. The more money you deposit in the bank, the more money your bank is going to make, because as soon as you deposit your money in the bank, your bank is going to lend this money out to somebody else, and they're going to charge this person 3, 4, 5, maybe 20% interest because they're charging crazy interest rates on credit cards while they pay you next to nothing in your savings account. So when you deposit money, your bank is paid and you get the peanuts. Now that your $100 is in your bank account, your bank will also get paid when it comes time for you to spend your $100 thanks to the help of plastic, things like credit cards and debit cards, because when you go to Walmart or you go to Chipotle and you go and you spend your money, you swipe with that plastic, your bank is going to charge Walmart or Chipotle a fee to process this transaction. So Walmart or Chipotle are going to have to pay your bank a 1% or 2% fee every time that you swipe your card, and that's money your bank makes when you're spending money that you do have. The fee that a company like Walmart has to pay to process your debit card is less than the fee that it has to pay to process your credit card, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference to you, because whether you're paying with a debit card or a credit card or even with cash, you're still going to be paying $100 if you buy $100 worth of groceries. The only time your bank doesn't make money when you spend your own money is when you buy things with cash, unless you have to pay an ATM fee to access your own cash. But it really doesn't make sense to buy things with cash if you can use a debit card or credit card, because this fee that your bank gets doesn't really affect you. That's something that the company has to pay. And if you use a credit card, you also get perks and cash back and rewards, which is why I only use a credit card. And if you want to learn more about why, I'll link a video where I explain that in the description below. If you're buying $100 worth of groceries from Walmart, it doesn't matter if you use a credit card or a debit card or cash, it's going to cost you $100 each way. Sure, Walmart might save some money if you pay with cash instead of a credit card, but on your end, it really doesn't matter because it's going to cost you $100 each way, assuming you know how to use a credit card and you don't buy things that you wouldn't buy normally with cash with a credit card. And so if you know how to use a credit card the right way, you're just going to get some more perks and benefits for using a credit card instead of using cash, because it's going to cost you the same amount of money. But things really change when you spend $100 at Walmart buying groceries when you don't have $100, because now your bank is going to get paid from Walmart, because Walmart has to process your credit card transaction. And if you don't have $100 in your account to pay your credit card bill, now you're spending the bank's money, and the bank is going to charge you an insane interest rate because now you got to pay interest on your credit card balance. It is your bank's dream to spend a whole bunch of money that you don't have and just spend this money using the bank's money, because that means you're going to be in debt for the rest of your life, and anytime you get paid, your money is going to be going straight to the bank in interest payments, leaving no money for you, which is good for the bank because now they're making all this money through interest, but it's not so good news for you because now you're in debt for the rest of your life and you have no money to build yourself wealth. wealth. Even if you stay away from debt, if you spend money you don't have with your debit card, then your bank is going to charge you an overdraft fee, and so you still got to pay money for using money that you don't have. That's why banks made something like $11 billion in overdraft fees back in 2019. That's why the less you understand about money, the more money your bank makes, and we're going to turn that around. That way you can be the one making money, not just your bank. So now that you understand this, what can you be doing with your money that way your bank isn't the one making all the money? Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to get your money out of the bank, and there's an asterisk here because I want to make sure you understand what I mean. When you put your money in the bank, you deposit your money in your checking account, your bank is going to turn around and they're going to lend your money out to everybody else, everyone that they can get their hands on. That way the bank can get rich while you get nothing, because your savings account, your checking account is sitting here. It's flat. Well, anytime you deposit $1 in the bank is going to loan it out, and they're going to charge somebody 2, 3, 4, 5, or 20% interest depending on how they loan the money out. So the first thing you got to do is you got to stop letting the bank lend out all your money, and you got to be the one getting that return on your money. Now, there's a little asterisk here because you got to understand when and how much money to keep in the bank. So I have a few different bank accounts. I have a checkings account, which is where I spend my money out of. This is what's linked to my credit cards. So anytime I spend money, it's linked to my checkings account, and my checkings account pays for all my bills. I make sure that my checkings account has enough money for at least a couple months of expenses at any given time. But then I also have a couple savings accounts. I have a high interest savings account, which is where I keep my savings fund. This is where I keep my emergency cash, because you always want to keep somewhere between 3 to 12 months worth of expenses in a savings account liquid. This is money that if an emergency happens, if you lose your job, or if your kid gets hurt, or something goes wrong with their car, you can access your savings account money whenever you want. This is money I keep in a high interest savings account because this isn't money that I'm really touching, and I'd rather have this money grow faster than it would at a traditional bank account, so I keep it at a high interest savings account. And then I have another savings account, which is where I keep some cash that I want to invest, usually for real estate, and so anytime I got some extra cash, I put it in here. That way I can use this cash to go out and buy real estate with. If you want to learn more about what a high interest savings account is and how you can find one, our team wrote an amazing article on our website, theminoritymindset.com. I'll link it for you in the description below, which explains what it is. But my whole goal is I keep money in the bank that I need to spend in my checkings account, and I keep money in my savings account for emergencies, and then anytime I got extra cash, I want to get this money out. So the other savings account that I have to buy investments with, once I have enough cash in there, I'm going to use that cash to go buy something else. I'm going to go buy an investment property, and that way I take my money out of the bank, because my money in the bank isn't making me any money. It's making the bank money, but it's not making me any money. I also have an automatic withdrawal which goes into my stock market investments, because I don't want to keep too much money in the bank. I understand I got to have my money in my checkings account because I got to buy things. I got to have money in my emergency savings account, that way I'm protected from an emergency, but everything else I want to get out. Your bank doesn't want you to know this, because if you start taking your money and you move it into the stock market, or you move it into real estate, or you move it into cryptocurrency, or move it wherever, you get it out of your bank account, your bank is not happy, because now they have less money that they can lend out, and they have less money that they can make money off of, because now you are the one making money. Because when you take your money out of the bank, assuming out of your checkings account and out of your savings account, your emergency savings, you take your extra money out of the bank, and now you're putting it to work. That way it can make you money, because when all of your extra cash is in the bank, then your bank is using your money to make the bank money. I want you to use your money to make you money, which is why you got to get your extra cash out of the bank. Once you start to take your money out of the bank, don't be surprised if your bank looks at you a little bit differently. Like the first time I moved my money, my savings, to a high interest savings account outside of my traditional bank, I had a meeting with my bank manager over there, and she was not very happy because I was moving a sizable chunk of cash out of the bank to a different bank that was paying a higher interest savings account. And she was pretty upset, very visibly, because I was moving this money out of this bank to another bank, and the money was leaving this bank, so now they had less money that they could use to lend out to other people. And she called up a different bank manager, and they both tried to convince me to leave my money in this bank and not take it out and move it to another bank that was paying me a higher interest rate on my savings. And so when you take your money out of the bank, now your bank isn't making money, but you got to use it to make you money. Now, I understand a high interest savings account isn't really gonna make you money in the sense of beating inflation and as an investment, but as you start to take your money out of the bank to buy assets and investments, which are things that pay you for owning them, your bank is going to be the one that's losing money, because now they don't have all the extra cash that they can lend out to other people, and so now you are the one making money, not your bank. The second thing you got to do is you got to stop financing liabilities, because when you're financing liabilities, you're paying interest to own something something that's losing value. And who's the one getting rich when you do that? It's not you, it's your bank. Liabilities are things that you buy that don't make you any money. These are things like cars and shoes and clothes. These are things that make you look nice if you have a bunch of nice liabilities, but they don't make you any money. They keep you broke. And the issue here is we live in a culture where it is completely normal to finance your car. It's completely normal to now start financing your clothes because of things like Affirm and Afterpay. And so we're entering this really debt-heavy culture where it is completely normal to just finance your everyday lifestyle. But when you do that, the person that's getting rich is not you, it's your bank. Because now you're spending all your money trying to buy a whole bunch of nice things that make you look rich, but you're going to spend the rest of your life paying these things off, when what you should be doing is using your money to buy things that will pay you instead of just paying your bank. The reason why this is so hard for so many people is not because of the looks you're going to get from your banker, it's because of the looks you're going to get from all of your friends when you stop having a nice car, when you stop having all the nice clothes, because now you're buying everything with cash. And so people don't get to see all the Gucci stuff, they don't get to see the fancy car, they just see you driving things that you can afford with cash, which isn't as attractive as buying things with the bank's money. Now there is a time and place when it makes sense to use the bank's money. Like if you wanted to buy a home, sure, go out and get a mortgage because most people don't have $500,000 sitting in their bank account to go out and buy a home. But if you want to actually use the bank's money, you can use it to buy something that's going to make you money instead of just buying liabilities, which are things that lose you money. The most common example of this would be buying investment real estate, because now if you can go out and borrow some money to buy a home or an apartment complex that you can rent out to other people, now the goal is the people that are living in your property are going to pay your bills, they're going to pay your taxes, your insurance, your maintenance, and they're going to pay your mortgage. And on top of that, there should be some money left over to go into your pocket every single month. So this is a passive investment that you don't have to really work to earn the money on, because you have the tenants that are paying your rent, and your tenants are the ones that are paying your mortgage, and they're putting some money in your pocket every single month. If you are using the bank's money to buy an asset which is making you money, then sure, it makes sense. But if you're using the bank's money to buy liabilities which are keeping you broke but making your bank rich, then it doesn't make sense, because right now your goal should be to build your own wealth, not to make your bank rich. And the third and final thing that I want to mention on this is that your bank and your banker is not your financial advisor. It kills me to see this when people go to their bank and they ask them, how do I spend my money and how big of a home can buy and how much money should I borrow? It's like going to an insurance person and asking them, how much insurance can I buy? Your insurance person is always going to tell you more. Your insurance person's job is to sell you insurance, and so they're going to want to sell you as much as possible. Your bank's job is to lend you money, and so their job is to get you in debt and to keep you in debt for as long as possible. It is not your bank's job to look out for your financial wallet. It is not your banker's job to make you money. Your bank is just trying to make money for the bank, and so you got to understand how to use your money the right way and understand who's on your side financially and who's not. If you do want to talk to somebody about real financial advice, talk to a financial advisor, talk to an accountant, talk to somebody who's going to be working on your side to help you build your wealth, because your bank's job is not.